Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Alright, I guess I'm going to have to change this, have to change the, thumbnail later on, because for some reason it won't let me edit it when I go to edit video, so... Oh well. I'll change that in a second. Hey Nick, how's it going? Alright. Huh, that's odd. I'm gonna... let's see. Paste. Awesome, awesome, good. I'm gonna see if I can get the episode up for you guys. I know I had it in the other stream that I had going, but for some reason it didn't connect with this one, so trying to figure that out real quick. Let's see. Watch Ep 2. There we go. Alright, streaming now, and that should actually show up now. Alright, cool. Sweet, alright. Just the right time when I watched the finished Angel episode 4. Ah, alright, cool. So anyway, yes. Today's episode of High School DxD was really something else. We finally got introduced to Kuno from the light novels. So that was good. And we also got introduced to Issei's senpais, which kind of confused me because, you know, when going into it, like, I don't remember the prior episode going into, you know, him meeting Azazel and, you know, Azazel having that little discussion with him. About, you know, his senpais and, you know, his senpais having a grudge against him. But still, it's nice to see that it's actually following through on the light novel on that part, because it did start off the way this arc did in the light novel, with Zenobia introducing her, telling Issei that, you know, she doesn't have a weapon and whatnot. And I had originally thought that it was going to skip that part and, you know, go straight into the hero fight, just because the title of the episode, School Trip and Abrupt Attack. But it's actually going quite nicely. It's actually going by the light novel in order, which is going to be really good. Some people were saying that, you know, they didn't recognize Sona's sister And I was like, oh, well, that's just because, her hair's different right now and she's in a kimono. Wait until she puts her hair back in the pigtails and puts on her actual cosplay, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, that's definitely Sona's sister. But yeah, I've enjoyed today's episode immensely. Issei looks like he's gotten a lot more athletic too, like action-wise. How he flipped over that tree and whatnot. Or flipped off the tree. What did you guys think of the episode? If you haven't watched it, I have episode 2 down in the description, uncensored, where it says watch Ep 2. Just click that and it'll take you to it. But man, I can't wait to get to the next episode. Yeah, Issei improved a great deal. Like, I was surprised, like seriously surprised of just how well he improved from like the past 3 seasons. He was kind of, I mean, he could do stuff, but he was also kind of a klutz when it came to doing them. Now he's more skilled in what he's doing. And I like that approach to Issei. I like that they're going by the light novel now instead of, just winging it like TNK did. Oh yeah, definitely more powerful. I noticed that in the first episode when he faced Side Ogre. And I enjoyed his acrobatics that he did in this episode when he came in contact with the Fox Clan. I was actually hoping this episode that we would get to see, some of the Hero faction, but we didn't get that far. So Hero faction is definitely going to be the next one, considering that was the title of the next episode. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Oh, I did put up my first impression video. Let me see if I can find it for you guys real quick. Let's see. I really do need to change that thumbnail. Let me see if I can find it. Just pause it real quick. Copy. Alright, here we go. And I'm gonna put it in the chat box so you guys can watch it if you want. That's my first impression video on the series so far. This was before I actually watched today's episode, though. It was only done off of the recap episode and then going into episode 1, but still. It points out some things. It points out why I believe that the art style changes were necessary, as well as why the studio change was actually necessary. Yeah, I'm waiting on that one, Nick. I'm so waiting on it. I'm also waiting on Azazel to take action too, because he said in today's episode that he was going to take some action as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be good. There are some scenes from the opening that I'm wanting to see. Some episodes of, like that one scene in the opening where Issei's armor is shattered. I want to get to that episode as soon as possible because I think that one's going to be really intense. It might be later on, like toward the middle of the series, when he actually does the rating game match with Side Ogre. Or it could be in tomorrow's episode. That's a good question, Nick. I'm not really sure if that's the female Dragon Emperor or not. It could very well be. I'll have to rewatch, because I wasn't... At the same time I was watching it, I was also trying to get, some stuff done for the live stream, and then it started before I could actually catch up. So I'll have to go back and rewatch the second episode to verify that. But I do know that the other gentlemen in the room were definitely the prior Red Dragon Emperors. Wait, actually, yeah, you might be correct, Nick. I think that was like the first. That was the one. That was one of the Dragon Emperors. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Next episode, what's going to go down with Kuno, Issei, and finding her mother, as well as trying to figure out who it actually was that took Kuno's mother. Could it be Riser? Could Riser make an appearance? Because it said that it was stated that Riser is going to be in this season. So, I wonder who it is that took Kuno's mother. What is your opinion, guys? Who do you think is responsible for Kuno's mother? Off the light novel here. Let's not go any spoilers, but who do you think took Kuno's mother? Eric, I did get your question at the beginning of the stream. You asked me if the voice actors are the same as Season 3 for the dub. Yes. I think his name is Craig Creel. Chris, what's up, man? How's it going? Volley? Nick, I'm not sure if Volley did it. I would say Riser. Or it could not even be a demon at all. They may have just, passed themselves off as a demon to give Issei a bad reputation with Kuno. But I honestly think that it's the hero faction. Yeah, the May 1st is going to be when the dub comes out, and yes, the dub cast is the same as Season 3's dub cast, so you will see definitely, I think his name is Craig Creel that played Issei. I think that's his name. So he'll be back. Everyone that was in Season 3 as the English dub is going to be back for Season 4. And that's something that we should be grateful for, guys, because, even though the art style has changed, right, and it's not really that bad. I actually like Passione's style so far. Like I said in my first impression video, you can see more expression and emotion in the characters' faces. They're not as stiff. Like if you look at this picture right here that I have for my background on my stream, you'll see how the faces, even though they are curved, some of them are more sharp, and it just looks a little unnatural. The detail's really good from TNK, but as far as the animation wise, I'd have to say Passione is on top of it. The animation so far for the 4th season has been just unbelievable. And that just goes with the whole thing that, you know, less detail means easier to animate, pretty much. But, you know, then again, if you look at the designs that Passione did, they're not really that different. Did you get all my questions I had about 4 and a comment about my answer for leaving last Tuesday? No, Eric, I did not get all of them. Do you mind telling me what your other 2 questions were, as well as your comment? Because I hate that I missed those. Unless it's the guy with the spear is the one who took the fox's mother. That's my guess too, Nick. That's my guess too. I believe that was Cow Cow, or Ko. But we'll have to see when it gets closer to the middle of the season, because I think that's when we're actually going to get into the heavy details. Right now, we're still in the Kyoto trip, and surprisingly, it's been going, like I said, it's been going really well by the light novel. Like, I'm very pleased that Passione is doing this. But yeah, I mean, sure, the art designs have changed. There's a little less detail, but if you look closer at the characters, they actually have detail. It's just a little different and a little lighter than what you would get from the T&K art style, but the detail is good. One of the characters that I believe that they really did a good job with, besides Riaz, or actually 2 characters, it would have to be Akeno and Koneko, because Koneko just looks really adorable now compared to how she did before. Like, she was one of the characters from the last 3 seasons that I thought, you know, her design was just a little too sharp around the edges. But now they've actually softened her up, and she looks great. Like, seriously. Like, if it comes between, you know, past Koneko and this one, it's really hard to choose, because I love them both. But yet this Koneko looks extremely adorable. Yeah, it definitely looks more lively. And that, like I said, that has something to do with the animation. You know, less detail. When you have less detail work, it's easier to animate. The more detail work you have in a design, it's harder to animate. And that's partially, actually, that's like one of the main reasons why, you know, even though T&K's designs were really good, that their animation was kind of stiff. What is Kiryu's role, and will we see her more in the season? Right now, it's kind of hard to say. I do know in the light novel that she does have a role. Specific, like there's a secret about her, but I'm not unveiling that here. I'm just not unveiling that here. No spoilers on characters from me. But, I do believe that we will get to see her more this season. Because it deals with the school trip. And am I wrong, but did you guys sense some romance between her and, I think, is it Motohama or Matsuda? The one with the glasses. The one with the glasses. But I think I sensed some romance between her and him. Like, just a teensy bit. Like, she's trying to come on to him. Which I thought was funny, because I had a theory that, you know, possibly those two were going to end up together later on. And judging by today's episode, it kind of looks like it's going that way. Yeah, Motohama. It kind of looks like it's going that way. It kind of looks like that's what they're aiming for. That Kiryu is going for Motohama. And that's funny, because that's like the perfect pair. Even though Motohama doesn't want to admit it. Like, I can totally see that happening. I got 4 people, but I only see 3 faces. Come on, guys, say hello. Who got the rights to stream High School DxD? Chris, right now, I know Crunchyroll has it. And I'm using, 9 anime for mine right now. Because, Crunchyroll just, you know, they'll fucking censor the shit out of things, and those censoring double D's are just really distracting. And I don't like censorship, so I'm pirating it. I don't mind, you know. I am going to buy it, though, once it goes on sale July 25th. Definitely. Because, guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. I want to see chapters... What? This is covering 9 and 10, right? So I want to see chapters 11 and 12 come to animation, because that is going to have you guys through the roof for sure. Like, if you don't know what happens in volumes 11 and 12, then you definitely need to read. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but you definitely need to read the light novel and get to volumes 11 and 12, because you will shit yourself at the developments that happen. Yeah, but I don't really mind the fog or anything, because, you know, that's natural. It doesn't bother my eyes, but when I see those DxDs, it's just really, really distracting, and that's the one that Crunchyroll uses. But yeah, honestly, guys, I am so enjoying the 4th season so far. You didn't even know it aired? Chris! Come on, man. But yeah, dudes. Seriously, so far, the 4th season, you know, regardless what anyone else says, I'm really enjoying it. Yes, the designs have changed. I will admit they have changed. But, you know, the designs are also closer to the light novel. And I think they really look good. Like I said, Koneko looks excellent. Yep, every Tuesday. And I'm going to try to, keep these streams going as much as possible. Eric, that would be episode 8. Here's an experiment for you to try, right? Here's an experiment. I want you to rewatch. I want you to rewatch all 3 seasons so far, okay? And once you get to season 3, I want you to stop at 8, where they get into the battle with Astaroth. I think that's his name. When Asia gets kidnapped, I want you to stop at that episode, and then I want you to go straight into episode 4, episode 00, and continue from there. And then after that, I want you to rewatch again, except this time I want you to watch all the way through season 3, including the uncanon ending, skip episode 00 and go straight into the school trip. And see if that doesn't work for like an alternative ending, because that was this concept that I was working on for people that, didn't like what was going on. What's up, Sobbing Lamb? How's it going? It was a concept that I was working on for people who, said they didn't like how they changed the ending. I figured, maybe they could watch both, because I think it's kind of interesting that you could actually have it done that way. You have 2 endings here. You can either go by, the one from TNK, or you can go by the one by the light novel. But what I did is I went ahead and I watched all 3 seasons, and I stopped at episode 8 in season 3 and went straight into episode 00. And it actually connects rather well. Like, there's no skipped areas in episode 00, because it cuts straight to, after Issei goes into Juggernaut Drive. And instead of, that whole Riaz scene, you get to see the projector, which goes by the light novel. But then again, if you watch all 3 seasons, and then you do watch the TNK ending, and then skip episode 00 and go straight into the school trip, it flows well that way as well. So you also have an alternate ending if you wanted to, Well, I didn't like... So, the people who were like, well, I didn't like the episode 00, so I'm gonna, stick with the TNK ending. Well, you can do that. Just skip episode 00 and go straight into the school trip, because it connects very nicely. If that makes any sense to you guys. Like, you can either use episode 00 as an alternate ending if you want to, even though it's the actual ending that was supposed to be there, or you can, use the TNK ending and then skip episode 00 and go straight into the school trip and continue the series on from that point. But yeah, guys, I mean, I just want to say, for one thing, thanks for dealing with these live streams. Like, I know I'm not that good at them right now because I've never actually done, live cast before. So I appreciate that you guys are actually wanting to view them and keep me talking. Nick, episode 0 is canon. That's the way it is in the light novel. But what I'm saying is, you can, for those who don't like episode 00 and would prefer the TNK ending, they can skip episode 00 after watching the TNK ending and go straight into the school trip. And the story still flows really well from that point. Or if you like the canon ending, you can stop at episode 8 and then go straight into episode 00 to go into episode 9. That would have been in, season 3, and then continue from that point. See what I mean? It's kind of like an alternative ending type deal. Well, if you don't like this ending, you can use this ending type thing. I mean, I've tried both ways, Nick. I've tried both ways, and let me tell you, it was fun. I enjoyed watching both of them. Why is Filthy Frank in my recommendation? I have no idea why Filthy Frank is in your recommendations. If you guys want to check out my first impression video on the season so far, that's the link right there. Today's actually been kind of dead on YouTube for me, but I guess because it's a Tuesday, Weekends are probably the more prominent times for uploading and streaming because, everyone's off work. Yeah, exactly, Eric. And that's if you like the canon ending. Like, if you want the canon ending to be the end of Season 3, then yes, stop at Episode 8 in Season 3 and then go straight into Episode 00 of Season 4. But if you don't like the canon ending and you would prefer to have the T and K ending, with the whole Super Saiyan Riaz and everything, you can do that too. Because all you'll have to do is watch all the way to the end of Season 3 and then skip Episode 00, and then you'll be right into the school trip. You'll be starting a new journey. And I've watched them both ways, and let me tell you, it works. Like, there's no connection problems whatsoever either way. It was and that's a concept that I came up for, since I heard people complaining about, why did they redo the ending? What's with this recap? I thought, well, if you watch all the way through, you can use either one. Praying that this live stream does not cut off like the other one did last week and make me have to do 2, because that was rather exhausting. But I seem to have fixed the controls, so hopefully it won't do that this time. I did want to have some actual High School DxD music playing while doing the live stream, because I was trying to add the files earlier, but for some reason they won't play, so I'll have to work on that for the next one. Chris, you're at work right now. I feel you, man. I'm off work today, but I'll be back at work I'll be back at work on Thursday. Nick, I think we'll get a Season 5. Because, like I stated in one of my past streams, Nick, one of the main reasons that Ishibumi switched studios was because it caused the T&K changes that they did to Season 3 were causing problems for future adaptations. So Ishibumi wouldn't have switched if he didn't have any other plans for further adaptations, in my opinion, you know? He could have just stayed with, you know, Season 3 and let that be it with some extra OVAs, but he has plans for more adaptations, trust me. We just gotta keep supporting. I definitely want to see volumes 11 and 12 brought to animation because, trust me, I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but I'm gonna tell you guys, you're gonna flip. You're gonna flip your shit. There are some major developments in volume 11 and 12. You are going to flip your shit. And I'm not going to tell you what these huge developments are, but it's going to surprise you, and it's also going to delight you, I'll tell you that much. And that, you know, that's for the people who, you know, haven't read the light novel, you know. If you haven't read the light novel, then you wouldn't know what I'm talking about in 11 and 12, but you seriously, you need to read the light novel and, you know, find out what those developments are. Yeah, Nick, don't say anything. You know, just let it be. We're gonna keep supporting the industry right now because I wanna keep supporting the franchise because I want to see those volumes brought to animation. Some of those scenes would look really great, if you know what I mean. And really intense, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think Ishibumi would change studios if he didn't think it was going to cause problems for further adaptations of the light novel. So, I believe, and this is my strong belief right here, I strongly believe that he has more that he wants to adapt. I mean, otherwise, you know, what would be the point in changing studios? He could have just, you know, said, okay, well, this is the last of the adaptation anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But instead, he changed studios because, obviously, he's got more he wants to put out. So, I'm definitely going to keep supporting. I've got to buy that soundtrack because I have it in my head. The new opening is just so damn catchy. The new ending too. Like I have to get these soundtracks. And guys, I have a surprise for you, or more like a surprising story for you. So I tried to pre-register the special edition copy of Season 4 because I wanted to make a video about it, right? So I went out to the Japanese website and I used my Samurai Buyer account to try to purchase it. And surprisingly, what I thought was $86 for, you know, the whole all 4 volumes of the 4th season, which, you know, would have been reasonable in my opinion. You know, $86 for a set, you know, that's good, especially if it comes with extra stuff. But what it turned out to be was $86 per DVD, and I'm just like, oh shit. That's way too much money. That's, let's see, that 9,630 yen times 4 when converted into US dollars, that's $321. And I was like, nope. And then I read their terms of service on the site, and they're like, you can't cancel your order after you've already made the order. And I'm like, well then, I guess I'll just cancel this credit card. Click. So I ended up canceling my current credit card. I got a temporary one, but I ended up canceling my current credit card because apparently I wasn't paying $86 for a set. I was paying $86 per volume. And I'm just like, oh. But man, I seriously wanted that special edition box because it comes with Miyamazuro's original art of the series autographed, and it comes with some down-drawn art of the new animation as well, autographed by Ishibumi, etc. And it has its own box, and I'm just like, that would make such a great video for a loot video for my High School DxD fans. They would love that video. But then, you know, I saw that unbelievable price, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to wait until July. Oh, man. So now that I've gotten one official first impression video out of the way, next week I'm going to start on the rest of the seasonal anime that I've been breaking into. And I'll tell you guys that I've had to cut a couple of them. Why did OBS quit? Can you guys still see me? My software stopped responding again. I may have to switch software. Alright, cool. God, I hope it doesn't do 2 streams like it did the last time. That'll be such a pain. I like that Issei is with his school friends in season 4, then his friend not with him that TNK didn't have them with. It was a shame. I'm enjoying the light novel anime. Well, that's good. Yeah, I like the fact that, I like the whole school trip thing as well, Eric. I'm glad that, Ishibumi has found a studio that is actually willing to, You can't see my face? Everyone see me? You can't or you can, Eric? You guys still see me? Is the stream like catching up at all, or is it looking like a video? Sorry to be asking technical questions, but my streaming software did cut off a few minutes ago, so I'm just checking to see if it's still the same stream or if this is a second stream. But you guys are still here, so I'm guessing it's the same stream. Alright. Alright. But yeah, Nick, Eric, I definitely have enjoyed the season so far. The Kyoto trip. Alright, awesome. Glad to see that there's no technicality problems when the software cut off. Thankfully, I was able to reconnect. So waiting on that next episode, though, it's the hard thing. You only see a picture? That's odd. I have no idea why everyone else can see me but you can't, Eric. It says I'm still alive. Yeah, you may have to reload, Eric. Because, like I said, my capturing software did, stop responding for a brief moment. And I think that's why it disconnected you. So just try refreshing the page, and it should come back on. But yeah, I'm definitely pleased that, Ishibumi has found a studio that follows his request, to go buy the light novel. One thing I'm really curious about right now, the one thing I'm curious about that was in this episode is Issei's gift. What was in the box? I want to know, because apparently it has something to do with the urge to grope breast, and I really want to figure it out. The new Power Beyond. That would be great. That would be awesome. Crimson Drive? It could be Crimson Drive. Which would be very interesting. Crimson Drive is the next step from Juggernaut Drive, so definitely, if that was in the box and it has something to do with, you know, the whole groping of the breast urge that, you know, his friend Matsuda was having on Motohama along with that strange man, then that is going to be some really interesting development. I am just guessing in case I've seen some animes who are doing that with the power and chest. Yeah. But it's got me curious, so I'm really eager to see what's going to happen in episode 3. Man, this season has just been really good for me. Like, I know some people are having a hard time, you know, adjusting to the new design, but honestly, like I stated earlier, they don't look that different. Just a few, the details a little different, and the faces are a little rounder to make them look more natural. But other than that, I mean, you can still tell who everyone is. And the more I watch it, it looks more and more amazing. So I can't wait to actually finish the new season and then do a full review on it for you guys, because that is going to be better than my original review. Speaking of which, I may actually revise my original High School DxD review, because that one was really, really old and it was not one of my best videos, so I'll probably just revise the first 3 seasons as well and put it into one and then do season 4. Yeah, I know, right? I know. It's like, I know you guys may not like the new change, but you got to understand there was legitimate reasons for the change. Yes, the light novels are still going. I think right now they are up to volume 25 or 20. Yeah, I think 25. It may be 26, but I think the current one is 25. I haven't read all the light novels so far yet. I think I stopped shortly after volume 12 and then got into the anime. So I've still got some catching up to do in the light novels. I've been trying to read up on them a little bit more every day. And Eric, you definitely need to read the light novels, because they are excellent. Like I said, season 3 left out some huge developments. I won't tell you what these are, but they were character developments, important ones. And so you'll get to see all of those developments in the light novel, but not in season 3. Yeah, Chris, it's a change, but it's not a bad change in my opinion. I really like the new style because it's closer to the light novel. The designs from the light novel, which is done by Miyamazero, and it's really good in my opinion. The animation is really good due to that change. The faces are a little different. Like, one of the things that I didn't particularly like about the TNK style was how big Matsuda's ears were. Like, seriously. There's a scene, I think it's like either episode 2 or 1 of the first episode, where Matsuda gets like really close to the screen and it basically looks like he has primate ears. And I'm just like, why are his ears so freaking huge? With the new style, though, the ears are actually more proportionate, and they look really good. And some people were complaining, Chris, that, the new style has ruined the series, etc., but I don't see it that way. I'm really just glad that we got a 4th season, because if he had stayed with TNK, we more than likely wouldn't have gotten one, because for one, they ruined season 3 by skipping a whole lot of stuff. And secondly, it was also told that they didn't actually have a budget to put out a season 4, so I'm glad that he made the change. And Passione has not been too bad so far. I mean, like I stated earlier, Koneko looks excellent in the new style. So do all the rest of the girls, especially when you look up close to them. I mean, they look really good. They look cuter. It may have lost a little bit of its maturity because of the art style change, but they still have that same, feminine look to them that makes them look both cute and sexy at the same time. Like the one scene from today's episode where Zenobia does that sneak attack on Issei gave me some really pleasant chills. Yeah, you're right, Nick. It's definitely rare for a series to get a season 4 nowadays. And like I said, I don't think Ishibumi would have changed if he didn't think it was going to endanger anything, like any future plans that he may have for other adaptations of the light novel. So, I mean, because what would be the point? Like I said, he could have just said, well, season 3 is going to be the end of it anyway, so I won't be sticking with the studio after this anyway, so who cares about the changes they made? But he didn't. He switched studios because apparently, obviously, he has more up his sleeve. He has more that he wants to put out, and that's why I feel that we should continue to support the franchise, because I want to see a lot more put out, because there is still a ton of greatness left to the story. And since Passione is going by the light novel, we're going to get to see all that greatness in its glory. So I've basically been trying to, reconvince people, or at least convince them, it's not that bad. It's actually really good. Not only art style and animation wise, it's a change, but it's not bad. Like, this art style is not bad in my opinion. The animation is excellent in my opinion. But I've been trying to make sure that, try to, influence people to still support the franchise, because we could get to see a whole lot more. But it's only going to happen if we continue to support it. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. Will there be season 3 of Rosario Vampire, and when will that date be? Eric, I have no clue, actually. I've heard rumors of a season 3, possibly, but there has not been any confirmed information. But yes, Chris, I'm with you on that. I don't think people should stop watching something because of an art style change either, because you know what that says to me? You're not really a fan of the story. You know, that just means that you're a fan of the TNK art style, and if that's what you were after, then there's tons of other TNK series out there that they did. Go watch them. But, you know, to quit watching a series or quit supporting a franchise just because of a change that was needed in order to keep the franchise going, that's childish, man. And that's, you know, real immature, in my opinion, you know? I mean, to each their own, but, you know, I can't really consider someone a High School DxD fan if, you know, a small art change is going to cause them to hate it. Because, you know, what happened to all that love you had for it? Oh, that was just for TNK Studios. Oh, okay, well, you know, there's other series by them. Go have fun. And honestly, I found a lot of support from the High School DxD Reddit. Because, you know, I've been reading a ton of, you know, bad comments about the art style from people that were posting on streaming sites saying, oh, this has ruined it for me, etc. And it kind of got me down because I was like, I don't want these people to start loving this series because it's great. But if, you know, if they're hating the style, if they're hating the series now just because, you know, he had to change studios because of low budget problems and, you know, not following their contract, which is basically what they did. They did not stick to their contract. They were supposed to follow the light novel all the way through. They did that up until episode 8, or actually they did that up until season 3, period. Season 1 and Season 2 were completely done by the light novel. Season 3 was a bunch of jumbled up mess. And that's what made Ishibubi angry. That's one of the reasons that he changed. It's because they did not follow the contract that they were supposed to abide by. The other reason was because TNK didn't have the budget to push out. Now, it is possible that if, you know, more funding was there, TNK possibly would have stayed on the contract. Possibly would have stayed, but after that incident with Season 3, I highly doubt it. He probably still would have switched. Any weekly clips to show from the series? Can't say I have any clips right now, Chris, because at the moment Kadokawa has kind of been on my tail with copyrights recently. Like, they used to not be so bad. Like, they used to let me, you know, post stuff with their content in it. But recently, like, if I show clips, they'll immediately just block me worldwide. And they used to not do that. They used to just monetize and be like, okay, you can use it, just let us have, you know, the monetary. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, but since I can't gain any monetary now, they're just going to block me. So Yeah, I know, Chris. I was kind of hoping that I could do something like that too, but I've got to I've got to try to stay in the safe zone. But Chris, yeah, like Nick says, you can definitely find some clips on YouTube just by searching. Or, you know, if you want to watch the second episode, you can go to the link in the description where it says watch episode 2 and check the uncensored. I've actually found, Nick, that if the clip is a certain length, I think it has to be a little under a minute for them not to hit it. Like if it's a minute or more, then they'll ping me for it. But if it's more than a minute, if it's more than a minute or a little bit over, they'll ping me for it. But if it's under a minute, like maybe, I don't know, 40 seconds, like a 40-second long clip, they won't ping you for it. I've tried this multiple times because I have a sub account where I kind of test all my videos before I put them out on my main one. Just the safe way to do things. And I found that, you know, usually clips a little under a minute go right under their nose and they don't even bother with them. I hope they're not watching this and paying attention to what I'm saying. But yeah, there's definitely... I think someone also had the first episode uploaded on YouTube, but it was like on an extremely small screen. How long have we been going, guys? Wow, we're already an hour into this stream. That's pretty good. Time passes by like extremely fast when you're streaming. That's one of the things I've noticed recently. Yeah, about an hour. More like an hour and 6 minutes 43 seconds. I feel you, Eric. I feel you on that one. I was kind of upset about it myself. But yeah, guys, I mean, like I said, I can't really consider people who, you know, bitch about a small art design and then decide to, you know, drop a series because, you know, they changed an art design. I needed change, a needed studio change, just so that we could have a 4th season. People start complaining. I was like, you did want a 4th season, right? Yeah. Okay. Quit complaining. We got ourselves a 4th season. And thanks to the studio change, we're more than likely going to get more after the 4th season. Because like I said, I don't think Ishibumi would have changed if there wasn't going to be any continuations. Yeah, Nick, there was a rumor that before season 4 came out that it was going to be maybe 25 episodes, but it didn't turn out that way. And I kind of think that's because I think Ishibumi's kind of going for like a core setting type thing. You know, kind of like how, you know, Shokugeki no Soma has been doing lately. You know, by splitting it up into cores. I think that's what he's planning to do. What sites have censored? Censored would definitely be Crunchyroll, and I think that's about the only one I know that has the censored version. Maybe even Hulu. I think Hulu might have it censored, but I know where I watch it, you have both options. You have censored and uncensored, so that's why I just try to do the uncensored for you guys. I figure you'd like it better that way. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, 9 Anime has it censored as well, but they also have the uncensored. And I like having the option, you know, because if I'm trying to do a video, I can definitely use the censored to use those parts, because that way I won't get, you know, pinged for, you know, inappropriate content. But if I'm just wanting to watch, I'm definitely going to be watching the uncensored version, because censorship just drives me crazy. It drives my eyes crazy. Every time I see those big D's over the images, it just really, like, my eyes just automatically shift from the scene in front of me to those D's, and I'm just like, I can't keep doing this. But yeah, guys, I mean, so far, the 4th season, definitely looking good. What sentence, Chris? Do you mind repeating? What sites take away the D's? Pretty much the same ones that Nick stated. Kiss Anime and Anime Heaven have both the censored and uncensored. So if you watch the uncensored, it'll definitely take away those D's. Yeah, I feel ya. I just realized what I said. Look, Chris, it's not like I was trying to say. That is kind of an Issei type line, though. You know, it's like my eyes just kind of start focusing on those D's. Everyone say hi to my dog in the background. He wants some attention. I think it actually is in the anime, just in a different format, Chris. What's one of Issei's favorite lines? He's like, I must save this information, and he just starts looking around. I think that was in the episode where he was trying to get his first schema. I can't remember the English word for it right now, but his first familiar, that's right. When he was trying to get his familiar, and he hits the slime, and it's just like... And that's another thing that I'm really glad that the that even with the new animation, that the animation and art style, that the characters haven't lost their edge. You know, Issei still has that same personality about him. We still see the same reactions out of him, and it's just hilarious. And I'm really enjoying it so far. Slime Toro is what he called it. Slime Toro. Where did you go, my partner? Why did you have to die? Poor Issei. He still doesn't have a familiar yet. Yeah, he loved that slime. He loved that slime to death. Eric, I'm not sure if Cartoon Online has them or not. I'm hoping he does, Nick. I'm really hoping that he does get a familiar, and I'm really curious as to what his familiar is going to be if he does get one. Wait, could that be what's in the box? Nah, probably not. That would be interesting, though. The gift was actually his familiar. But yeah, guys, I mean, I've got to say, yeah, definitely it would be very interesting if that was what it was, because apparently we can't see it yet. So apparently, like, once he opened the box, you know, he was brought back to where he is in the train, and we never got to see what was in the box. So I'm curious to see what is causing all the commotion. Like, maybe his familiar has maybe if it is a familiar, maybe it has the potential or the power to make other people have the same urges as Issei, which would be incredibly hilarious. I haven't used Cartoon Online, actually. I've mainly stuck with 9 Anime. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the next episode, seeing what goes down between Kuno and Issei. How Issei is going to help her find her mother. And hopefully we'll get into the hero faction some, because that was the title of the title for the next episode. So definitely the hero faction is going to get introduced, but I'm just curious to see how far it's going to get into the hero faction in that episode. Because for some reason today's episode just kind of passed by a little fast for me. There were developments, but I kind of wanted more developments in one episode, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, maybe here's a development here, 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 and here, but instead it was like one long development throughout the episode, and then, you know, some fan service, which, you know, wasn't bad, but I was actually hoping for a little bit more development in the episode. Like maybe 2 battles. Man. It's a lot of sites, these. Eric. Oh, yeah. Definitely. That was another scene that I thought wasn't really touched upon, like the one with Azazel, where Azazel's talking to him about, you know, the prior dragon emperors and how they basically live inside his peace and have resentment toward him and whatnot, and, you know, then that one scene with Beelzebub, where he's messing with the demon piece. I kind of wanted to get into those a little more. But guys, yeah, I mean, season so far is looking great. Definitely looking forward to episode 3. Helping Kuno find her mother, the introduction of the hero faction. It's going to be hype, for sure. And next Tuesday's stream is going to be probably a lot better than this one. But today I wanted to talk about, you know, some of the developments that went on in today's episode. Issei's gift that he received, his senpais, and how well it was flowing with the light novel. Yes, Eric, all these streams are definitely saved on the playlist on my channel, so you will be able to find them. But I'm going to call it quits for the day, guys. It's 4 o'clock. It's been a nice, good hour stream. I'm glad you guys were able to join me again for another High School DxD Season 4 conversation. It was fun. Definitely look forward to next Tuesday when we discuss, Kuno and saving her mother, along with the introduction of the hero faction, because I have a feeling that episode is going to be lit. So let's look forward to it. And I'll catch you guys later.